Did you know the United States actually printed $5 and $10,000 bills? And also in this video, I'm going to show you an even higher denomination that was printed by the US that was never publicly issued to the public. But these $10,000 bills that we're going to go over in this video were issued to the general public. So legally, you could own one and you could spend them. Now, I will say the majority of the use for these ultra high denomination bills was mainly between bank transfers. So if one bank needed to give another bank a good amount of money, it was much easier to give them a large amount of money in $10,000 bills instead of in, say, $100 bills. I know there could be some people watching right now that have worked at a bank before and they've had to count a lot of money in $100 bills. Just imagine how much easier that would have been if you had a $5,000 bill or a $10,000 bill. Now, this first bill here is a 1934 series. Now, it's important to know that the $10,000 bill was issued for 1928 and 1934. The portrait that you see on this $10,000 bill is Salmon P. Chase. He lived from 1808 to 1873. His role was the U.S. Treasury Secretary under President Abraham Lincoln. He later became Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, and he had significance because as the Treasury Secretary, he created the modern national currency system. Before the Civil War, hundreds of private banks issued their own paper money, which caused chaos. Chase pushed through the National Banking Act of 1863, establishing federally chartered banks and a uniform national currency. He introduced the first quote-unquote greenbacks. In order to finance the Civil War, he authorized the first U.S. government paper money, legal tender notes not backed by gold or silver. This made him a natural symbolic choice for one of the largest denomination bills. Even though he wasn't president, his work literally shaped the money system. Putting him on the $10,000 bill was a nod to that legacy. So this first bill here was created by PMG at a 30, which means there are a lot of folds. I mean, just look at the back design on this bill. It is a beautiful small size paper money bill. Now this one does have minor repairs as noted by PMG, and they're relatively not noticeable here. I cannot see them. However, it is good to know that they are there, but that did not really impact the value of the bill because it still sold for $156,000. This next one is a 1934 series, and it was graded by PMG at a 40, and it sold for $168,000. Now moving up to the big one here, guys. PMG graded this one at a 64 EPQ, which means there's not a single fold anywhere on this bill. It sold for a staggering $372,000. This next one got graded 1 point higher to 65, and it sold for $432,000. This next one is a 1928. It got graded by PMG at a 58, which means that there is a fold somewhere on this bill, and this $10,000 bill, ultra high denomination, did sell at a time where the market was a bit hotter. In 2022, it sold for $504,000, which is just crazy for a piece of paper. Now, earlier I was telling you about what the highest denomination bill ever printed was, and that is the $100,000 bill gold certificate. These bills were never issued to the public. They were only used for bank transfers, and they're very, very hard to even see in person. I was lucky enough to see these a few times in my life, personally. Now guys, we do hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.